What is going on, everyone? It's Ari from EP Games here. Now in today's video, I'm unboxing the HTC Vive Cosmos, the new headset out from HTC. So in this video, I'm going to open up the box, show you what you can expect inside of it, and then get into some specs about this headset and why I'm excited for it and how it can fit into your virtual reality. So let's just get into it. All right, so I'm not going to keep you waiting to get into this headset, the HTC Vive Cosmos. So right off the bat, if you don't know much about the Vive Cosmos, or if you're just getting into VR, there's a bunch of different ways that you can track a virtual reality headset in 3D space and then relay that information through the screens in the eyes. If you've seen the standard Vive headset, the main difference you're going to notice here are the cameras all around the outside of this headset. So you've got two on the front, one on the top and bottom, and then on each side. So these cameras will record the world around you, keeping note of where things are in the room, and using that as its tracking anchor. But inside of the headset as well, you've also got a G sensor and a gyroscope, as well as an IPD sensor, which I'm just really interested in how that works. So that'll track how it's moving in 3D space. So instead of your lighthouse tracking, which is on the Vive, where you have to set up the two base stations, and then they record the position through infrared sensors and reflectors and stuff like that. With HTC Cosmos, you don't need to set any of that up. You essentially take it out of the box, plug it in, put it on, and you're good to go. I do own a Vive, and as much as the dream is to have a room that's just this hollow deck with permanently set up sensors and everything's out of it just for your VR experience, I just don't have a spare room for that. So I'm having to put up these base stations and take them down every time I want to jump into VR. So something like this, where you don't need to have external sensors, you just put it on and you're good to go. So let's get on to a couple different differences in the Cosmos as opposed to the Vive. The next one that jumps to mind is the Headbands, which they've gone for a halo strap, which has got this turn at the back, which you're able just to put on your head and then screw it down and clamp it on, which again, personally, I do really enjoy, just so you're not playing around with Velcro straps, and again, it's just a lot easier to get into VR. The biggest noticeable difference on this as well, that you got built-in stereo headphones, which once again takes away another factor of jumping into VR. You just put on the headset and you don't have to be fiddling around to try and find your earphones. They're just on there, but if you do have earphones that you love playing in VR already, these are detachable, so you're not having to use them if you don't want to, but there is still so much more hidden stuff with this headset that visually you can't see right off the bat, and let's just get into those and why I'm really excited about them. Same before, when normally you have to put on a headset and you're fiddling around for your earphones, which is just a flip up. It might not look as exciting as I think it is, but for someone that uses VR quite a bit, having that functionality, actually, let me just show you. Firstly, this halo design means you can attach it right onto your head and it clamps in, and it's very comfortable around the outsides with some padding there as well, as opposed to the Vive that just had the standard kind of Velcro straps. Personally, I think they could cut into my ears a little bit as well, like when the straps comes around the top. This though clamps right onto your head, but this little module there is amazing, because without that, what I'm doing with my standard Vive, I lift it up onto my head like that, and your hair and your skin is touching the lenses. When you put them back down, it's a bit smudgy, but that simple little change makes it a lot easier, again, just to use the headset. You're not covered in cords. There's one cord here that you put it on and it kind of can get out of the way, and you're playing in VR and you forget you're wearing a headset, which is, I guess, a good thing when you're jumping in virtual reality. You don't want to be thinking about this headset on your face. The screen itself is 88% higher resolution than the standard Vive headset, so it's 1440 by 1700 per eye, which I think all up makes it 2880 by 1700 across the board. Also, the screen in there is an LCD RGB subpixel display, meaning it's got RGB subpixels per 1 pixel. It's a lot of numbers there, but it generally means that it removes the screen door effect as much as possible, that if you've been using VR in the past, or if you've just used the phone or done something like that, you're kind of seeing the pixels once the lenses magnify them, and that kind of takes you out of the immersion. It's like you're playing VR through a screen door. It's like, hey, no, just let me get in there and play. Wow, actually, okay, that halo band actually, keep on forgetting I can do that, and I can actually speak to you. Like, seriously, I'm in a game? Wow, oh, sorry. Oh, Mum, I'm in a game. So the actual halo band around it, as it's clamping into your head and doing movements like this, because it's not an elastic like the other headset was, which would absorb some of that force and stretch and kind of cause the headset to feel like it's not actually attached to your face. Now, I actually didn't really mind that at all. It wasn't even something I noticed on the original Vive. But now after using this and realizing what it's like to have a headset that's so on your head, so when you're doing these movements, feels like the screen is where it is. So on the side here, you've also got your IPD adjuster, which is your interpupillary distance, I think. So that just changes the view that's coming through each screen, so it actually hits both your eyes, because we all don't have the exact same size head. Let's get into what the controllers look like. So these are the HTC Vive Cosmos controllers. Firstly, there is a bunch of improvements that I am really excited for. So one of them is the addition of a thumbstick, as opposed to on the standard Vive, you had that trackpad. Just kind of removes it back to a thumbstick that you're already used to, so you can move around and click as well. On the front here, you have 2 triggers as opposed to just the standard one on most other VR controllers that look like this. You have another button in the middle here, so you can do kind of like gripping actions as well. And then you have an A button, a B button, and the Vive button there. So with the design around the front, using cameras to track the positions of these controllers, as well as internal gyroscopes and accelerometers and stuff like that to figure out where they are in 3D space, you've got this cool pattern around the outside that helps the headset figure out where your hand is in 3D space, as well as its own sensors. So these require 2 AA batteries each. So let me just chuck those ones in and I'll show you what it looks like when it glows, which I think if you're jumping in VR, you want your hands to be glowing. That's just a personal preference. With these lights here, you're probably not gonna be able to see it too well, but with a close-up shot, you will. So right now, these are flashing, trying to pair with the headset, which I haven't plugged in yet, but the actual lights around them will light up as the headset will also be tracking these bands around the top. In the design of these controllers, as it's gripped around, I think you can do a lot more like pinching and grabbing and touching and stretching. So personally, I really like these designs. I think they're pretty cool. I just like that my hands glow as well, and that's something that you want to feel super cool when you're in VR. And what's left in the box is the accessories and stuff like that for the headset. You got your wipe cloth for the lens, you got your power brick, and then in here, everything else to set it up. Then you also got your L1 and L2 cords, which connect into your computer. So the main cord that will be connected to your headset is this one here. Now let's just see how long this actually is. So I can't actually find the exact length of the cord on the box, but it seems to be the same, if not longer, than the standard Vive headset cord. Now, talking about how far away you can get from your computer and stuff like that. So the camera's on the outside of the box, being able to scan your room. When you set this up, all you gotta do is draw the bounds like you would normally do setting up your Vive headset, and then it gets you just to look around the room. Now, along with the Vive Cosmos, they are launching Vive Origin, which is essentially when you get into Vive, it's your home hub, it's where you access all the games and apps that you wanna be playing, and that's been completely revamped for the launch of Vive Cosmos, so make sure to go check that out. Now, I'm already into a lot of these changes that they've made in the headset because I can see where it will fit into people's lives. One of the biggest ones that I'm most excited about for sure, because of the future of what can happen with this, is the fact that this headset is modular. So, for example, this base plate on the front can pop out, meaning that in the future there are upgrades and mods coming out that you can attach to this headset and change the way that you use VR, different ways for you to immerse yourself. So there are 2 main really cool things. The one is if you do have your light stations and you want to use your standard Vive controllers and you would prefer that way, get an attachment which is the IR reflectors on it, so you can still use this with your lighthouse setup. Now with these cameras though, obviously comes a bunch of exciting things that can be done in the future. And I've already seen a video teasing hand tracking through these cameras. So if you don't even want controllers, you can put your hands up in front of your face and it tracks your hands in VR. As well with that, the wireless Vive headset adapter that makes it so you don't even need this cord here is also compatible with the HTC Cosmos. I think you just need the Cosmos kit in order to put it all together. So this headset I think has got so much potential just to land in kind of every corner of VR, from easy setup to get into it, from a high quality display, new types of controllers, thumbsticks, and then hand tracking, the ability to jump between your lighthouse and your standard, as well as just ergonomically, it's comfortable and easier to use in your everyday life. There are so many things about this headset that I think they've really just gone to the drawing board and say, how can we change it as much as possible that it actually fits and changes with VR? As you know, VR and technology is changing constantly. This headset is out right now. If you want to check it out, there is a link in the description. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. This was Ari from EB Games. I'm gonna go play some Cosmos, and I'll catch you later.